What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course, and I may have found a contender for the PD. It is a brand new mold. It's the first run. First time I've ever seen it. Let's give it a couple of reps and see if possibly could beat out the Lone Howl 3. So the Lone Howl 3, 10-4-0-3. A little bit of dome, but it has this very pronounced, comes out and then drops off a little sharply. Versus this is the Tour Team Tour Series K1 Hard Malm, M-A-L-M, from Castoplast. It doesn't have the same drop off, and the dome seems a lot more gradual. They give this the numbers 10-4-0-2.5. I'm interested to see if those numbers are going to run a little less stable or a little more stable. So let's give it a couple of rips, but we're going to go Lone Howl 3 first. Pretty flat to start. Let it fade into the basket. There's a pretty decent amount of crosswind, so I need to pull this one a little further to the right. Two different throws. Two very different throws. I think the Malm stayed in. And since it was actually closer to the release point I wanted, we're going to give that one the point. But two very different throws. So it is 1-0. The Malm did seem a touch straighter. Which might help it on this shot, because this wind is not going to help this shot. The wind is now a cross tailwind, which wants to push everything down the hill into the lake. We want to throw a backhand, stay up to the right, be able to fight the wind, commit to a pretty decent amount of anhyzer with these. Malm has the box. Now the thing is, with domey discs, if you can get them on a turn angle into the wind's gonna hold them there. Flat discs will still try to fight out, but the domier the disc, the more glide it has. If you can get it on that anhyzer with the wind pushing it, it really just wants to kind of keep it on that anhyzer. So that's one way to help yourself stay up that way, which is why you need a little bit stable, so that it will try to fight out at least a little bit. That is, so far, that was a grip lock into a line that I've looked at for a very, very long time. It was definitely ended up coming out too far right, but it did have a pretty big fade and skip, so it's probably a good thing that it came out too far right. But that one being a little bit flatter, it's not going to get held over to the right as hard by the wind, because it doesn't have the same gradual dome up and over. I do think that this is a little bit more stable, and it possibly has to do with the plastic, because this just isn't the same quality plastic, or it's not the same stability plastic as this plastic is. But I also do think that this little extra nose hump that the PD has, that I pointed out in other videos, is the reason why the Musket, why the Construct, they just don't have that same bite at the end that you get out of the PD. It looks like they moved this basket to the left, so we're just gonna try to throw the hyzer, see how straight we can push it before the big fade. PD's up first. All right, that is a little early. I think I hit those logs that are down over there. Now for the Malm. I did not expect that to flip up. I thought it's on hyzer. It's definitely gonna miss that pull. Flipped up directly into the pull. Okay. Yeah, that Malm kind of fits into that same thing. I mean, even toss the Onyx in there. The Onyx still has that gradual from the wing straight into the dome. And it just is a little bit too straight. Okay, if a disc is good, keep throwing it, right? If the PD keeps working, why do I keep trying to fight it and try to find something else? Now, I will have another one coming out, not with the Malm, but I did find something else that might possibly, there's a new disc coming to the market soon from Streamline Discs that might have a chance. But we're gonna finish this one out and do a little bit quicker because it's starting to rain. PD is up 2-1 over the Malm. We're gonna give him a couple of little flex rips here. Perfect. This one might not do that. That's amazing, but that's a different disc. Similar wind, a little bit in the headwind, but it is coming from right to left. So if I keep them on hyzer, it should help push them on the hyzer. So, distance control shot. This one I flexed, that one I hyzer flexed. This one is staying in the bag for now until I find something, or unless I find something that is more overstable or just better. The perfect shot shape, just straight, and now we're gonna fade. Boom, right there. Perfect. This one doesn't do that. Yeah, see the distance difference? By the time it was getting ready to fade and skip, it was already at the back, whereas the PD was fading into that back row. So the PD was the perfect distance placement, and I threw the PD flat. I threw the Malm on hyzer, and it did essentially the same shot shape, but about 20 feet further and about 10 feet right. It's a good disc, and for most people it's going to be fine. But I grew up learning how to anhyzer flex discs, so my soft hyzer is basically flat, and my flat is basically a soft flex. So I need a slightly different stability than everybody else. Alright, as soon as the wind picks up, I can try to throw these. As soon as the wind picks back up, it's coming off the lake, so blowing this direction towards us. I'm gonna try to flex the PD, and I'm gonna throw this to get the full flex flight. And I want you to notice how the shots are going to look so extremely similar, but the subtle differences, the subtle nuances in those throws are why I'm choosing the PD over the Malm. See if I can recreate this. PD's up first. It has gotten basically every point except for number 1, so you know what it's gotta be, PD. Remember how I said I was gonna try to flex the PD? When I try to flex the PD and just throw it flat, that's what happens. When I try to flex the PD and actually throw it on an anhyzer, it does flex. Now watch the flex that happens with the Malm that I'm gonna throw on probably a little bit more hyzer than that throw was on. See, it looks like the same throw. To most people, they're gonna be like, oh, it's the same shot. Yes, because I matched the right angle to make it the same shot. But the PD came out flat. And I put the Malm on a pretty decent amount of hyzer. Those subtle nuances are why I still can't find a disc to replace the PD with. And at this point, unless a couple of discs that I've got my eye on from MVP Axiom Streamline, unless a couple of those discs also don't work, I'm gonna stop trying to fight what's actually still working, stop trying to fix what's broken or what's not broken, and I'm just gonna keep throwing the PD. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you wanna see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. Definitely helps me out as well. And I know it costs a little bit of money, but if you guys do get onto the memberships, you'll be entered into one free giveaway a month, one free giveaway disc a month. So have fun with that. And until next time, see you out on the course.